Hey guys, welcome back to Finladder, and in today's video let's talk about who can actually end up giving CFA. Now, in the eligibility criteria of CFA, you have to meet any of the one enrollment criteria, and if you do, then you can give CFA. And I'll make sure to explain why they have kept such an eligibility criteria. The first eligibility criteria is that you have completed your bachelor's degree. If you have completed your bachelor's degree entirely, you can go ahead, give the level 1, and after that level 2 and level 3. So that's very easy. Let's suppose you are not done with your bachelor's degree. Then how can you be eligible for CFA? And the second thing, in which if you are in your last year of college, so let's suppose your college degree is about to end in August of next year. That means you are eligible for it. So if there is an 11-month period from the date of your exam, understand very carefully, from the date of your exam till your degree completion day, there are 11 months, you can go ahead and give the exam. Let's suppose your college degree is about to end in March of 2023. So if your college degree ends in March of 2023, you can give the July 2022 attempt, because that's within the 11-month period. So you can go ahead and give the level 1 exam if your college degree is about to end in within 1 year. How can you register? When can you register? You can register anytime. That is not under question. What is under question is when you can give the exam. And if you clear level 1 in that time frame, you cannot give level 2 before graduating. So you have to be a graduate in order to give level 2. Now at this point, many people ask me, sir, what if I give the level 2 exam just 2 months before my graduation? How would the CFA Institute know? Okay, the simple answer to that is, guys, you have a lot of time. Do not play with the CFA board. At the end of the day, why would you want your entire 3 years of entire work, 3 years of studying go to waste just because you did not meet the eligibility criteria and they cancelling all your results? Why would you want that? Your life is big. Ideally, on average, you'll be living 80 to 90 years. So just going ahead and skipping the list, skipping the line with 3 months might not help you a lot. So don't try to do that. If you meet the eligibility criteria, go ahead with it. If you do not, just take a break. You can do any other course in that time. You can actually study better for the same level and then give it after 3 months. CFA right now is conducting exams after every 3 months. So why do you want to be in a rush? Now there is also a third way in which you become eligible to give level 1, which is not actually something I recommend to everyone, but there are some specific cases on which this can be applicable. Otherwise, for majority of the students, this is something that you should not be going for. You should ideally stick to eligibility criteria number 1 or 2. But there is a third eligibility criteria which most of the people do not know about. Let's suppose you have 4,000 hours of work experience. If that is the case, you are eligible for it. But let's suppose you have work experience plus education experience. Education experience means that you studied in a bachelor's course, and combined, unfortunately, you had to skip your education or anything like that. Combined, you have a work experience plus education experience of 4,000 hours. Then also you become eligible to give CFA. There's a catch here. What's the catch? The work experience and the education should not be in the same time span. Let's suppose I say that I was studying for my semester 1 from Jan till March. Then my work experience has to start after March. I cannot say that I was doing this plus that both simultaneously. I cannot do that. Work experience and education experience are different, should be in a different time span, but combined they should add up to 1,000 hours. Now, some tips about work experience. Yes, the work experience can be with your father's business or your own business. That is acceptable. But no, the work experience cannot be somewhere you're not being paid. Yes, the work experience can be somewhere where you're doing an internship and you're being paid for that, or you're doing an articleship and you're being paid for that. So if it is any of those sorts, yes, that can be accepted, but otherwise, no. Okay, once we're done with these eligibility criteria, what else is required? You also need a passport. Now, many people ask me, sir, I want to register for CFA, but my passport is about to expire. What to do in that scenario? What used to happen with CFA was they used to ask you for a passport number. And that was the worst thing. Why? Because passport number gets changed when you apply for a passport, a new passport. When, if let's suppose many of us are in the time span where our previous passport is about to expire and we apply for a new passport, and it takes a lot of time in India. So for those people, don't worry, CFA has removed it altogether. All you require is a name, and passport name stays same, be it on your previous passport or your new passport. Or let's suppose you do not even have a passport. If you apply for a passport, whatever is the name on your class 10th and class 12 documents, that is the name that would be printed on your passport. That is what you can use to register yourself with. So, but at the time of exam, you need a valid passport. It should not be like your passport has been expired and you have applied for a new passport at that time. Do not do that. As soon as you make the registration, you still have like 6-7 months. You can apply for the passport. You would end up receiving the passport max to max in 3 months, and that's a good thing for you. So for those who have the question of passport, you need a passport, a valid passport at the exam day, but you just need a name. Now you do not need passport number. So that's a good thing for everyone in general. So many people also ask me, Murad, do we need to submit our final transcripts also, our college transcripts? No, they do not ask you for it, but they can ask you for it anytime. In any time of the process, they can ask you for the official transcripts. They can say, you said that you had 4,000 hours of work experience, show us this, show us that. So they have the right to ask you anything at any point of time, but they do not ask for it outright to everyone. In a case where they feel like, okay, this seems like a person has completed his entire CFA level 1, level 2, level 3 within by the age he's 20, so that looks fishy, right? So at that time, they can definitely ask you to share your transcripts. Now let's talk about how do you get to write CFA at the end of your name. That is something all of us want, right? So first of all, you'll obviously have to clear CFA level 1, level 2 and level 3. Now, I've talked about level 1, level 2, level 3 in many videos, and I've also talked about our classes. If you want to know more about our classes, I'll leave a link in the description. You can fill that form and our counselor will call you and give you all the details of CFA. And let's suppose you have any specific doubt related to CFA, they'll also clear that doubt. Now, once you're done with level 1, level 2, level 3, now you need to produce 4,000 hours of work experience. Now, this work experience can be during the time you were giving your exams, can be before the time you gave these exams, and it can also be after you clearing the exam. So you have a lot of flexibility as to when you can produce this work experience, and many people end up doing a job after level 2. So most of the people end up having this at the end of their level 3. Now, once we're done with that, we need to produce 2 to 3 references. Now, these references, if you refer a person who has done CFA and say that you can ask this person about my work experience in the company, and that person is a CFA, then though getting a CFA charter becomes a cakewalk. They'll just directly mail that person. That person is also a CFA charter. That person will say, yes, this person has been working under me or working with me and is a good asset to the company, and you'll get your CFA charter. Let's suppose you do not have any person in your company who has done CFA. You can anyhow give names of people who have done other international qualifications, because that just adds to the credibility of the people you are actually showing. You're actually saying that these are the people who have been working in my company. So that just adds to the credibility. It's a good thing if you have CFAs and FRMs in your company. If you do not have that, not a big cause of concern. Any person can be your reference. And finally, you apply for CFA charter holdership and you become a CFA charter. Congratulations. Now, this was the eligibility criteria of CFA. This is actually a part 2 video. In the part 1, we talked about all the details of CFA. So you can watch that video from here. Otherwise, if you want to know the eligibility criteria of a scholarship, CFA also offers scholarship, that video would be here. And if you want a part 3 of this video, whenever we are out with it, that would be here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this.